Welcome to the Land Your Bet Sports Betting Show live stream. What's good, y'all? Looking to get some bets in here today. Game 2, Pacers, Celtics. Gonna be taking a look at some of these Playa Props with you guys. Got Jabba the Hutt in here. What's up, big dog? Looking at Hallie double-double. I know that's coming my way, so I'm gonna look at Hallie double-double. Paid. How'd you get that name? That's fire. What's good, bro? Got G-Bag in here. Everybody going through Nuke. What's up, Derrick Reyes? Yeah, let's go, bro. Missed you recently. Let's see. Nuke also wants to look at Obi Toppin. I'll start putting some of this stuff in the comments. If you're new here, go ahead and jump into the comments. If you do want to take a look at a bet together, I got everything scrolling on the bottom line now. I'll run through this stuff with you. If you don't have a desire to take Papa Al Horford under 21.5 PRA because he's burned you recently, so be it. That's understandable. I'm going to start putting some stuff up in here for up next. I got Obi Toppin already. Obi's such a fan favorite, bro. I understand why. The other one, I'm going to look at Hallie double-double. I have a bet for Haliburton as well. A little simple same-game parlay. So I'll be taking a look at that. Everything, like I said, will continue to be scrolling on the bottom line. I want to show you guys a couple things while everybody's rolling in here too, so you can keep in mind some of these matchups that we had from last game, see how we did. Also got the record from yesterday's game. It was 3-3, but 1 unit on the correct bets and half a unit on the incorrect bets means we have another winning day, 2 in a row. So feel good about that. Not sure why I keep freezing. I'll take a look at that in a minute, but I'll keep moving along here. All right, let me go through some of the stuff that I want to look at with you guys real quick and get into it with you. We got Drew Holiday as well. Let me get that in here while I'm looking at these comments for a sec and go from there. And try to stop skipping. Let me know if I'm coming in clear for y'all, or I'm gonna have to deal with this real quick, but should be good to go. All right, let me bring up the matchups right quick too and see what's good there. Also, we got Derrick White coming in from QNZ. I'll put that in before I forget, because you know how I do with my ADD. Put Drew in here on the rebounds. Put Derrick White in with the assists. I'm gonna look at everybody. So if you have something specific you want to look at, definitely let me know. Otherwise, I'm gonna take it. Don't distract me, bro. I'm gonna be all of a sudden looking for a squirrel. So let me go into some of these matchups real quick with you and see what we like here. All right. So this is what Boston's defense looked like. So everybody on the top, this is in the video that I put out last night as well. So if you're not yet subscribed, goes a really long way to help the channel. Really suggest doing that. You get those videos nice and early. Also got the Discord. If you're still not in there, jump in it, because it's not just me in there. It's a lot of good looks coming from a lot of people. And I appreciate the community that we're building, man, because I'm not sitting here to spoon feed you, as I said in my video last night, bets so you can just tell exactly what I'm doing all the time. Like, I put my bets in and I'm bringing plenty of analysis around the bets I'm not making to hopefully help you guys make yours. But you can see, hopefully this is pretty clear to you, who's guarding who. The interesting things to me, Tatum was on Turner more than Horford. And he was on Nesmith the second most amount. But when it was the starting lineups versus each other, it was mostly Al Horford on Pascal with Tatum on Miles Turner, Jaylen Brown on Nesmith, and then Drew Holiday and Derrick White kind of split a little bit. But when it was Peyton Pritchard on the floor, then you definitely saw Drew Holiday on Haliburton, or Derrick White as well on Haliburton. So that'll continue to be the matchups that we see for Boston's defense. And then for the Pacers defense, a little bit more straightforward. Turner, center versus center. Pascal was on Jaylen. That was the interesting thing to me. And then Nesmith was on Tatum. And Tatum and Siakam were the dudes getting all the boards in this last game, as we saw too. So something to keep in mind there, as they're not really guarding each other quite as much as we might have thought that would be the case. And Pascal, rather, doing a pretty good job of getting boards when he's defending Jaylen Brown, especially because if Brown's not involved in the offense, then he's kind of standing around, be honest with you. And that lets Pascal roam a little bit more free to get those rebounds. So we should probably look at that as well. I'm going to put Pascal in the upcoming as well, so we can look at his boards, because that is something I want to look at specifically in that one. So some of the bets that I had here already that I put in, I'm going to get there in a sec. I'm going to look back at the J-Works asking, do you use OddsJam or anything? I do use OddsJam. I actually just started my partnership with them. Probably going to be putting up some content for them as well moving forward, where I'm going to be, talking about how to use their platform and stuff like that for OddsJam. Also doing that for props.cash and Outlier. So if you use any of those three, I'll be having some codes as well that you guys can use to get in there for some cheaper prices if you want to get subscriptions to it. But yeah, you've got to have something like that to be able to to make sure you're looking at all these stats as effectively and efficiently as possible. So it doesn't take you an hour to go to like 10 different websites. But all the sites that I'm going to be using are in the description of the video. So if you need that, you can jump into the description of the video and you'll find all the links that I'm using to help me find these plays with you guys. But starting off with Al Horford, under 21.5 PRA. I understand the fear that comes along with betting on a guy to go under after he was played well the last 2 games. But that game 7, what was it, 5, that closing game, he went completely crazy. And he's still under this number in 9 of 11 playoff games outside of that game 5. And in this last game, he was right at 21, it was 15, so it's 22. So he went barely over this one in the last game as well, and actually needed overtime to get that. So if you don't think overtime's coming again, then Al's going to have a few less minutes. I think he's going to have a few less minutes anyway, which is also why I like Luke Kornet in this one. I do think you see some more minutes from him. Couple reasons there. The last couple times that Al Horford played big minutes, the way he played 40 in this last game, he came back and he averaged 25 minutes a game in the next 2. So that's a huge part of this. And then Kornet, I mean, look, I'm not saying Kornet's like a better defender, but Al was getting cooked, absolutely barbecued by the pick and roll last game, which did them absolutely no favors and was a huge reason that Al really, I mean, honestly, it was a huge reason that they kept going to that play for the Pacers, was just like Al Horford can't stop it. So maybe there's a little bit of switching it up for Luke Kornet. I'm not going to bank on that based on the lack of defense from Al Horford. I'm banking on it based on the minutes that Al played last game. So I took Kornet to go over 7.5. If he gets 12 minutes, he's good to go. Honestly, that's been the case in these playoffs for Kornet. So I think we're coming back to him here for this being the game that he should have some more success. This is the little same game parlay for Hallie. 7 dimes and 3 threes. And I'll already tell you right now, for tomorrow's game, if you are interested, I'm about to put that in the Discord. Apologies to those of you that I didn't give it to yet. But I also like this type of bet for PJ Washington to get 5 boards and 2+3. So a similar look, but substitute in the boards for PJ Washington. So that's a freebie for tomorrow if you want it. I can put that on the bottom line here in a minute as well. But that gets you -115. I don't see that continuing to be the case. Like, I can't believe that we got -115 for PJ Washington to do something he's done in like 5 straight games, or like 5 of his last 6 and like 8 of his last 9. Like, he's all over the place doing that. So PJ Washington, similar bet to Tyrese, but I just think Tyrese is going to keep shooting these threes, man. I mean, he took 16 in this last game, and 6 of 16. That was predominantly what he shot, I think, or maybe it was like 6 of 14 rather. Excuse me, I have it right there at the bottom. 6 of 14. Which means 4 of his field goals were not from 3. So rather than really mess with the points, I just went for the threes alongside the assists. That was a bet I gave out in the Discord last night as well. And we come right back to TJ McConnell. If you want to take just the points for TJ, this is my hood math for you. Simply put, man takes 10 shots. He makes 5 of them because they're all 2s and they're all his bread and butter, which is like within 8 feet of the basket. If you like the assists, I put it on there because you get even money for him to get another 4 assists or so on top of that, which is something that he's done consistently versus Boston, averaging about 13, almost basically 14 points now in the 20 when he plays 20 plus minutes, as well as 4 assists, because those potentials are there. And he's playing a bit more with Haliburton in this series so far in one game than he played with Haliburton against the Knicks in the last game. And that'll probably continue to be the case as well, where we're going to see him up at about 24 minutes, which means it's a little bit more than he's been averaging. So I'm going to get back in the comments. All that is rolling on the bottom line. I'm going to try to do this as efficiently as possible and keep it moving. I see something for Drew steals. We can look at that, but I think I got Drew rebounds in there as well. So we'll keep that going. I do need to look at Nembhard, because Nembhard's assists are what people keep talking about in the Discord as well. So I do want to bring that up. Nembhard's been balling a little bit. We'll take a look at what he did in this last game and a little bit more as well as we move forward. Let me make sure I got everything rolling here correctly. All right, cool. So I'm going to be pulling up my screen here to take a look at these bets that you guys want to look at. And yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much going to get to everybody. So if there's somebody on here that you don't know yet, hit me when you want to look at that. I got Free Sauce. Yeah, he's talking about the assists here. Keep that in mind. And then we got an interesting one here. Haliburton versus Tatum 3-pointers made. You know, I love those head-to-head bets. So I can take that into consideration. We got Miles Turner coming back, who made me look completely foolish. And honestly, like, he's one of the bigger advantages that this Pacers team has right now in this series is Miles Turner playing without Kristaps Porzingis to oppose him. Kind of a big deal. So we'll take a look at Miles as well once again, and I might have to eat some crow and potentially go over with Miles Turner. So let me start sharing my screen and get this stuff up on the screen for y'all as well. Stand by. pulling that up. I want to make sure I got all my tabs up. All right. Cool. So let me kick it off with what we were starting with Obi Toppin. All right. That makes sense to me. We'll start with Obi because that is everybody's favorite player right now. It feels like between he and Nas, like I'm interested to know who do people like more between Nas Reed and not Miles Turner and Obi at this point. Both these dudes doing work, kind of playing above their pay grade, to be honest. I'm going to be using props.cash once again. That is what I've been using the most, and it is what I feel most comfortable with right now. But probably be making a little bit of a switch, moving on to outlier.com as well. If you don't have an outlier account, I'll have some codes in there for you and keep that going for you. Good to have you in here, Mike, as always, my dude. And we got Justin with Derrick White. We're going to look at that. I'm not worried about Xavier Tillman. I mean, they wanted Cornette in over him, but it's a good look. I mean, Miles Turner was cooking on everybody. So just kind of keep that in mind. But the total points, is it 219.5? It dropped. So people were betting the under recently because it opened at like 224.5. Let me pull that up real quick and see if that's still the case here for what this spread and everything is at. Looks like for the total on this game, it's still at 224.5. So if you're talking about 219.5, you got to be using that for like an alt line or something for something, because it's at 224.5. And to be honest, I like the over again in 224.5. I don't know what we saw that would make you think otherwise. I think Boston wants to get out into transition just as much as Indy does, to be honest, which is something that we saw in this last game. They actually had a few more. I believe they had a few more fast break points, right? So let me go into this box score real quick. Obi is somebody that's going to get those fast break points too. So, but I mean, man has just been on fire, honestly. So I'll take a look at him, but I did want to look at one quick thing, which was miscellaneous stuff in here. I'm inside the game log for this last game, and I'm looking at miscellaneous stats to see things like fast break real quick. But I believe if you look at the bottom here, this is going to be 32. Let's see right here. 14 fast break points for Indy, and the fast break points they gave up was 16. So a bit more. Like I said, like Boston does want to keep running with this team. I'm not worried about them in transition. So the one thing about Pascal's rebounds that I was talking about the jump was that he's not guarding Tatum, which leaves him open for some more rebounds, honestly, because he was guarding a lot more Jaylen Brown. And when Jaylen Brown is not involved in the offense, he's kind of a dude who kind of stands around, to be honest with you, and somebody that, you don't have to worry about quite as much. So that did leave him open for some rebounds in that game. If you look at the rebound chances, just while I'm talking about it, the rebound chances for Pascal were at 16, 17 for Miles. And then for Jason Tatum, 15. Horford had the 15 as well, pulled down 6 of them. So I'm still not really worried about Horford, to be honest with you. It's really just about the minutes and the usage for him. He went 3 for 12 from deep, but let me refresh this to make sure everything's pulling through correctly. I'll be using props.cash. I'll be using some other stuff as well. Probably pull Props Madness up if you're not familiar with that site yet. So let me know if you have any questions about that stuff. But let's get into it with Obi real quick. Obi's not somebody I've been betting on, honestly. I think I bet on him early in the series. I loved him against Milwaukee because he continued to crush that team. And I did like him against the Knicks in part because of the in part because of the revenge factor for Obi, where it was like, he doesn't like Tibbs. Tibbs obviously didn't like him enough. And then that led to him leaving the squad. But for Obi right now, I'm trying to pull up playoffs if I would be so intelligent as to be able to do so for 1 second and not use my fat fingers to go back for some stupid reason. All right, so he's 10 of 14 at the 8.5 point mark, right? And this has been hovering around it. This is one I like to use a lot if you've been in here before to look at betting pros, because they give me a really solid understanding of what the recent lines have been for all these dudes. So I'm pulling up Obi, and this is obviously linked in the description of the video if you need it. But this is where I can find Obi's recent line. So if I'm on points right now, it's at 8.5. I'm getting minus 124. And it's been about that. So last game, I guess it did probably close at about 7.5, soared over that line. I believe he got it in the first quarter, right? Where he got at least like 8 points in that first quarter. He went completely bananas and hit a ton of stuff, going over pretty consistently. But yeah, this has been as high as 9.5, 10.5, even against the Knicks at one point after he scored 20 against them there in the game 2 loss. So we got to see what that matchup looked like for him in this game. So looking at Obi's raw numbers from this last game, we're looking at, I'm on player tracking, my bad. Let me go to traditional for Obi. 21-44, right? So I think these are the three dudes you're going to be seeing off the bench for the Pacers moving forward. I don't know that you're going to see much Isaiah Jackson in this series, and Jalen Smith as well. Like Isaiah, there's not really room for Isaiah Jackson because otherwise you're talking about him either being the only center on the floor. Miles Turner got 40 minutes because he was incredible, and like I said, is their biggest advantage in this game is Miles Turner, and in this series until Kristaps come back, that's their biggest advantage. So yeah, I still like that these dudes to be the only ones to get the minutes. If that's the case, then you can probably bank on Obi over 19 minutes like he was averaging up to about 22 like he had in this last game. But here's what keeps me away from betting on Obi Toppin overs moving forward, and what has up to this point. 6 for 8, man. I mean, 6 for 8. How often is he going to shoot this well? So in the playoffs for Obi, if we look at his field goal percentage, he's 4.4 for 8.1 shots, right? So better 52%. In terms of the field goal percentage, the 3-point percentage, he's hitting 1.2 on 3.6 attempts. So that's a 32. Wait, where we have the percent? Yeah, 32.5 percentage, which is good. I mean, it's good. It's not great. So it's not like that's too out of control necessarily for Obi with his 3-point percentage. That's still possible, but you got to bank on him hitting one of these threes, I would say. And then for the twos, that leaves him with so that's 5 of his shots from 2, which you do like as well. If he's taking 5 shots from the 2-point range, especially with how much he's scoring inside, that could still be a look. I do think he'll still be kind of a problem on offense for this team. So I get that. I do understand the Obi over. If you're at Mercedes, he's at 8 shots. That's crazy that he's taking 8 shots in 19 minutes in the playoffs. If he's taking 8 shots, obviously, you prefer this to be at about 7.5 because you get to 8, but he has taken more than basically almost 4 threes per game. So I don't hate it, to be honest. I want to look at the matchup real quick and see who he was matched up with as well. So I'm going back into the box score from game 1, going to these matchups and putting Obi on offense, and he might be getting some Jaylen Brown. Yeah, he's getting Jaylen Brown. That's what I thought. A little bit of Drew Holiday. And some Jaylen Brown as well, who he actually did not do as well. He didn't even take a shot against Jaylen, though. He got matched up with Pritchard a couple of times. That was probably a mistake by Boston. And same concept with Hauser. Like, he just got into some favorable matchups in transition, and that's where those dudes were guarding him. If you think the transition points are still going to be there for Obi, I still like this bet. I'll definitely put this in here as a lean. Let's look at the rebounds as well, if that's something we want to add to it. Oh, it's all the way up at 4.5 now. That's crazy. 14.5 PRA for him. I don't hate it. The assists at 1.5. I don't hate the PA, honestly. I know this was a look that was brought to me a couple times so far in these playoffs. Head to head against this team, it's not as easy. I believe he was off the Knicks by this one. Let me do with somebody on this team so I can make sure it's with the right team. Let's do with Miles Turner. I don't think he missed much time. So this is okay. So this is Obi with Miles Turner versus Boston. Damn. I didn't realize he got traded that early either. So we've got 11. Damn. Yeah, he's going over the PA very consistently against this team. That's a lot of green, right? And that's this season alone. Whereas 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times that he's played them at this point, which is very interesting to me. And he's doing this consistently. The potential assists are only at 2.2 per game. So it's kind of tough to take him to get 2 dimes when he's averaging 2.2. And that's where, I mean, it's plus money. So you're basically losing a little bit if you take the assist, in my opinion, even though he's gone over, because the points are what get him over, right? Like, he's got to get these points to get over. In fact, the assists alone won't help you if you need to get 2 of them. It's only been more recently. I don't know that you want to bank on that. I mean, but the points and the field goal attempts he's taken against this team alone, 23 minutes, about the 8, making about 4. This is a good bet. Honestly, this is still a good bet. If you take the points, it's the best number. This is at 9.5 now in some spots. Let me just pull up Props Madness for this exact reason. Shout out Pips. He was on the show a few days ago. We get him on every now and again. He helped create this with at least one other person, but this is a great spot because they refresh the line. So this is a great like prop finding tool, honestly, as much as anything, because of how often they refresh this. So you can bank on this being correct in terms of the amount, the most recent lines. So it looks like minus 132 on FanDuel. If you have a Betano account, which not everybody will, it's not available everywhere, but if you do, it's the best price for it. Minus 132 for 8.5. Let's put this into the calculator here, the prop tool that I haven't used in a little bit. But I want to bring that up real quick because that is something for Obi where we're kind of on the cusp. So this is going to be how you can make sure that you're getting the right price for this. I do like to use this sheet as much as possible. I'm going to put this up so you can see a little bit better at 150%. And so what I'm looking at here is like, is the price worth it with the implied odds and all that stuff? So I'll put Obi in here real quick. I'm looking at the points and I'm looking at 8.5. The under odds for Obi are going to be plus 108. Let me put this over here, 108. And then the under odds are minus 132, right? And this is just going to tell me if it's worth it for the price to take it. So in his minutes average, and this is head to head, let me look at in the playoffs in general and use that. I think we have enough in the playoffs now to go like, this is what we can expect. So he's averaging in the playoffs 19.2 minutes. Put this up correctly. 19.2 minutes. The prop average is 11.3 points per game. So about 5.58 points per minute. Tonight, I mean, what, he played 22 last game? I think 22 is a pretty good projection. I'm pulling up RotoWire. It's just like let me check my numbers here against what they have. And they've been pretty accurate this postseason. I will give them credit. I have said there are like establish the run. If you have an account for that, it's a little bit pricier, obviously, than RotoWire, which is mostly free. So I haven't given that one out yet. But if you like, if you want to spend some money on something that has really accurate projections really consistently, I would recommend establish the run. I mean, books are honestly hawk-eyeing establish the run at this point too. So we saw Haliburton's prop drop 2 points the other day when establish the run came out with their projections for Haliburton, went down from 19.5 points to 17.5 points like that because establish the run came out with their projections. All right, projected minutes for Obi right now, 21. That's fair. We'll put that in. So his projected minutes are 21. This is also in the Discord. If you want to have access to this sheet and you can just take it, copy it, and use it for yourself. All the formulas are all in there already. So you can just copy that. So it looks like the probability of the over is 74% just as is, right? Based on just standard numbers without taking the price into consideration of minus 132 for the over. So let's put that in by getting the odds for minus 102, what the implied probability of that is. So I'm going to go to this calculator. This is a really simple one from Action Network. All I need to know is what's plus 108. That was the under odds, right? So 48% implied probability. So that's what I put under the book under is 48%, which means I do not have an edge here. And my edge is going to mean this is something I should bet on if I like the prop, because the percentage needs to be about plus 10% for me to feel good about betting on this. And that's what these two numbers in the last two columns are. The book probabilities for the over at minus 132. They're saying this has minus 132, a 57% chance of hitting. So at this price, this does give us a nice edge of 29.8%, meaning it's triple what I would need it to be at for me to take this bet. I'll put this in here for half a unit because I've talked it up so much at this point, and I do like that for Obi. But and this is a good question for Jay Miz. He's asking, should the line get better if you take Obi once the game starts instead of off the bench? Not necessarily. It works a little bit better if you're talking about a bench player. The way that I like to get advantage of that with a live bet is you take a guy that you think is going to play in garbage time. So like when we think that the Celtics are pulling away, you're going to see the line slow to creep up on the bench players that are going to play in the fourth quarter when this game is out of control, if that's what you think, right? Then you start hitting like Sam Hauser and Peyton Pritchard and all those backup white dudes for the Celtics. That's when you kind of hit the bench players. But I wouldn't necessarily say that just because he's on the bench to start that automatically his props are just going to drop right away. Like they're going to stay about the same until he gets a little bit of burn. And then when he gets on the floor and gets some run, then we'll see what it is. But I'm going to add Obi here to the card that's rolling on the bottom line for half a unit. I want to get in on the Obi sweepstakes. Everyone keeps getting so happy when he scores. So I'll take the over 8.5 for minus 132 is that best number on FD. That's more of a bankroll builder than anything, I'll be honest with you, because that's not a great line, obviously. Maybe there is, and I've been asked to do this too, and I'm happy to start looking at some like same game parlays and stuff like that with you guys. I don't think you're going to like the one that I want to put together for today, but we'll take a look at it. All right, so I'm going to take Obi for the half. I also want to look because it is 9.5 on some books, and if you take it at 9.5, you can get DraftKings 105 plus money. I don't know if that's going to give us an edge either. Let me change this up real quick. So I'm going to put this at 9.5, leave everything else the same. The under odds now, though, change because the over is plus 105. The under is minus 135. So let me make this 135. Let me make this 105 and see what that does real quick. So the book probability under now changes at minus 135. It's at about 57, 58%. So we'll put that in at 58%. And then the over at plus 105 is going to be about 49%, right? So I'm going to change that to 49. And that's going to tell me that the edge is still to the over if you want to take it because of the plus money that you get for him to go over on 9.5. So let's split the unit in case we get hooked in some way. I'm going to split the full unit on Obi. I'm going to take half at over 8.5, and I'm going to take another half at over 9.5. All right, that's how I'm playing Obi today, so I can get a little bit better juice. So I took half a unit over 8.5, half a unit over 9.5 for plus 105 on DK. So that's scrolling on the bottom line. Hopefully that made sense. If there are questions, jump in the comments. You can use the comments for questions as well. We can get into that. I don't know if I use that line, but no, it's all good, bro. You can ask me. I make a portion of my income off of betting. So it is some of it, but I also then obviously do this for a living. So it's I can also get those sponsorship deals. Been starting to get a bit more. I mean, I started this channel in September, October, really like the start of the NBA season. So, we're making some pretty good plays. That's why I've gotten some more these partnerships as of late. So I got Obi in there, half a unit on over 8.5, half a unit on over 9.5. All that's scrolling on the bottom line. So if you show up a little bit late, you can still check that out. What's good, Joe? Good to have you in here always, bro. I don't know if we move the line or not. Obi's a popular dude for sure. All right, cool. Let's see. Yeah, I hope he gets 10 today, bro. Yeah, for sure. I think he should be good for 10. Let's keep it moving. I got Obi there now. I'm going to look at this Hallie double-double. And just so you know, the Hallie bet that I did take, once again, just to bring it up, I really like this as honestly, another kind of bankroll builder because it's minus 110, but that's still close enough to even money for me to like this bet. This is how I played it, Haliburton already. But the 7+ and the 3+3s, if you want to talk about the double-double, we're talking about the assists, right? I mean, the rebounds probably ain't going to be it, but the assists could absolutely be it. So we'll take a look at the dimes for Hallie and see if you like him to get the 10. What is the double-double price, too? If anybody has that best price, let me know. We got him back up to 18.5. He was at 19.5. So he dropped for sure, because you can still get minus 125. You could even get minus 104 for him to go over on the 18.5 when this thing opened a little bit further. Let me pull up Hallie right here to make sure I'm getting the correct lines. So we're most up to date on Props Madness. Shout out Pips once more. What the fuck am I looking at right now? Tyrese Haliburton. There we go. 18.5. Yeah, the 19.5s are still there on some of these books, but it has dropped to 18.5, minus 102 on FanDuel. The disrespect for Tyrese Haliburton is crazy at this point. I will say he took 14 of his 18 shots from 3, but I still think the points he should be good for 10. So what we're really looking at here is the dimes, right? And this is why I also like props.cash, is they have the potential assists on there for you. If you look at head-to-head stuff for Hallie, this isn't going to be end all be all. You can't just look at regular season stats versus this team and go, well, he's done it against them recently. So I'm going to take it again. Like, that's the fish stuff that we stay away from. By fish, I mean, noob, whatever phrase you want to use. Just looking at recent stats is too easy. Don't be doing that. That's what the books expect you to do. That's why that's part of the reasoning for sometimes what these lines are, is just public perception. And they know now that we're all looking at recent stats and all these green bars and red bars, and that they got the same info we've got. Once they put that together, then they can juice things how they want to. So for Hallie, we're just talking about assists at this point, because you're all asking about the double-double, and that's going to be what it is. Let me pull up the other prop finder tool here from thelines.com, who I do create content for as well, contributor for the NBA and all that. So I'm pulling up Hallie, and this will show me the double-double for him as well. What that is, where the best price is for that. Looks like plus 160 on Bet Rivers if you have it, but you can get plus 155 on FanDuel. So I guess my main suggestion would be, if you're going to take over 8.5 assists, you're getting it at minus 106. You take the 9.5 assists, or right over, basically what we're saying here is you're taking him to get 10 plus dimes, because we all believe in him to get 10 points with the amount that he's shooting on 18 shots or so. He should be getting that amount of points. So do we think he's going to get the dimes? He had a good amount of potentials in this game, 20 potential assists in this first game. Against this team this season, this is an outlier. He had 8 dimes, 8 potentials right here on the 8th of January, and he got hurt in this game. So you can see on his minutes, he only played 13.5 minutes in this one. And even in this game on 130, on January 30th, I believe that was a pretty big blowout as well. Let me pull that up, because this is a really great part of props.cash as well. Prop Madness. If I use head-to-head, I can look at on January 30th, they lost by 5, but he only played 22 minutes. He might have, I think they were still restricting his time because he got hurt just a few weeks earlier. So he was still on a minutes restriction right here, and he still took 16 shots in that game and had 16 potential assists. So even in a game where he only played 22 minutes against the team, he got work done real quick. Who are the guys that were missing in that game? That's another beautiful part about Pips's props madness. You can see TJ McConnell wasn't in that one, and Benny Matz, who won't be in this one either. But TJ McConnell being out meant a few more minutes for him, obviously. So for Hallie on the dimes, you can see I was a little bit nervous to take even over 8.5. I took the 7 just because that's something he's done so consistently. I like the number 7 there for him on the assists. So that made it a little bit easier. But as far as the 10 goes, it's a risk. For plus 155, let's put it in here real quick and see what the implied probability is if that matches up. So I'm going to put Hallie assists. 9.5 is what I'm gonna make the line so we can get the double number there. There is no under, but basically what we're looking at for him on the over, let's just do the over odds. The over odds are going to be 155, right? And his minutes average, let's use the playoffs right now for a minute and bank on that a little bit more than anything else. So in the playoffs, he's at 35 minutes per game, averaging 8.2 dimes. This is not going to tell us to bet this, I'm telling you right now. 35.7 minutes. The prop average is 8.2, and the projected minutes in this game, got to put him at 36, right? 35, whatever. We'll put him at 35, but I think he's liable to play 36. The projected minutes, 35. So what that does for our over, if we wanted to take it, still minus 21.48% for him to get the 10 dimes in this one. So if you believe in those projections enough, this is still not really giving us much to the over. Actually, wait, my bad. What's the book over probability? At plus 155, it's even worse. 155 is 39%. So I'm gonna make this 39 instead. That's gonna kill. Oh, it makes it a little bit better. So yeah, the book probability over when you take it the prop is at -1. So this is still not at 10%. Is basically my main point here, right? Because I'm banking on him getting 10. If you're projecting him to get 10, yeah, you're not getting enough juice here. It would probably need to be about closer to like plus 180. If that was the case, let me just show you what I mean. If I made this the implied probability of him getting this, let's say I made it 36% and it was plus 180. It gets us a little bit closer, about 6.8%, 6.9% to the edge to the over. So I think that's still decent. If you want to take a risk, bro, like, yeah, the double at plus 155, it's close, but it's not quite enough of a bet for me using just this simple odds calculator to get there based on the price. So I'm not necessarily going to take bro, I'm doing it again. I'm sure y'all called me out, but I didn't even show my screen. Get better, Lander. All right. This is what I've been looking at. So I just put the implied probability in here for him to get the over. It's at 6.8%. Just want to make sure you saw what I was doing here. This is all the Hallie stuff. So I put 9.5 assists, yada, yada, yada. I'm going to pass on the double here. I'll tell you right now, I'll put that in the leans as like a pass for me. But, look, I'm not going to get upset with anybody for taking that bet right there. Like, it's still plus 155 in your money. It's just not quite the bet for me to take. So Hallie double, I'm going to put the pass sign up, my little hand right here, put that hand emoji up, indicating I'm passing on it. If I could get that hand up. All right. Hand up, Hallie double. I'm passing, not enough of an edge. All right, that's scrolling on the bottom line. We're taking a look at Drew Holiday. I'm also go back in here, make sure I didn't miss anything from you guys. Got a couple other looks for Haliburton. Yeah, for sure, bro. It's pretty dope. We're trying to make ways and make plays out here in the world, but it's still better than going to work and having a boss. And be honest with you, I fucking hate bosses. All right, let's see. Oh, this is our go-to as well, right? It's at -120 today. They both got it in the last game, right, for the points. But the JB first quarter parlay is down to -120. Joe's always looking at that too. Okay, cool. You can get a plus 160 on MGM if you want it for Haliburton double. That's definitely better than the plus 155. Let's see. We got Maurice coming in with an under for Derrick White. All right, let's look at let's go in order, but I'll keep that in mind right quick. And then Turner 2 blocks, Tatum 2 steals. What's up, Richard? Watch it. Derrick White assist looks solid. Yeah, I did like that a little bit last game. Let's catch these Johns, street cred for sure. What's up, No Round Brown? Let's see. Yeah, Scott really likes the Drew with the steals. I was trying to figure out how to play Drew Holiday. Honestly, I was like, our man has been hot recently, so like, yeah, let's keep it moving. Yeah, we do hate work in the Discord, bro. We always talk about that. Everybody's just at work when they're talking in the Discord. Like, I cannot wait to get home and twist one up and talk about sports, which is way better than work. All right. Going in order and supporting myself here and staying a little bit focused. I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to stay focused. Who the fuck am I kidding? I'm not going to promise that to y'all. Drew Holiday. this is all right. So here's what I was going back and forth on. A couple of things for Drew. And this is in part courtesy of my boy Daft, and also Pips be doing this a lot too, which is like take a Drew Holiday prop and go, all right, let me just take a bunch of them and go like take the alts a little bit lower. Mike does this too as well. Mike's got his own channel in the Discord. Mike's rants. Our boy is fucking Gandalf. Like I think someone called him Gandalf yesterday with his wizardry. But on top of that, the rants are funny as shit. So I would definitely recommend checking out the Mike Rants channel in the Discord. And this is, like I was saying, something that he does too, that I've noticed, right, is like just take a little bit of an alt under and maybe put it with something else. I respect that play a lot. For Drew, the rebounds, they were at 4.5. That was a great freaking bet last game. And we talked about that on the stream. And then for the dimes, he got 8 of them. He had a lot of potential, 16 potentials in this game. The thing that I like about Drew too, and I want to show this to you guys because I showed it to the Discord yesterday, last night. And hopefully if you didn't catch it from the Discord, you're catching it now. But you see how if you're in the box score for these games, you can click on this exact number right here. So I can look at all 12 field goal attempts for Aaron Nesmith, or I could look at all 5 threes, or I could look at his 6 rebounds and what the play looked like. That's something you can do. I can't show you those highlights, but I would recommend doing that. Right. But I can look at every one of Aaron Nesmith's, and let me turn the sound off. Now I'm not showing highlights, so I'm clean. I can look at every one of Aaron Nesmith's shots that he took in this game. And it's going to be a short clip, right? But it's going to be enough to just like help me get a feel for it and be like, okay, how did this play set up? How are his shots looking? I did this with Drew Holiday because I wanted to see his dimes. One thing that brings me back to Drew assists is he's the inbounds man. Don't sleep on that. Honestly, like a lot of his assists came from an inbound. And let me see if I can show that to you. I'm trying to see real quick. I know maybe it was either, yeah, or right there. Boom. He was the inbounds man. That's one. I think 3 of his assists were off of the inbounds plays for Drew Holiday. I like that. I like the fact that he's going to be the dude passing the ball from out of bounds consistently. So I would get there with the assists as well. My homie Nate is playing points and assists for Drew. And I like that, but I also just like all of it, to be honest. I mean, the 28 that he scored was in large part because he was a nice outlet. Like teams are now going, we're not going to let Derrick White beat us. So let's take a look at contested field goals. That's in player tracking. So I'm back in this box score for game 1. I'm going to player tracking. And now I can look at CFGM, CFGA, contested field goals made and attempted, or uncontested UFGM field goals made, right? So for Brown, Tatum had 20 uncontested shots. That's crazy. Uncontested also means no one within 4 feet of you. So honestly, like not being within 4 feet of somebody in the NBA still is somewhat contested because everybody in the league has at least a 4-foot wingspan, if not a 10-foot wingspan, right? So there is reason to like still be like, this is somewhat contested. But for Drew, he had 13 uncontested versus 9 that we saw for Derrick White. So Drew Holiday is getting a lot more open looks, pretty much because everybody's terrified of Derrick White going off like they saw him do last series. If we look at the matchup for Drew, I believe I showed it in the last one, but you're going to see the dudes guarding Drew for the most part was either Haliburton or Nembhard, and they kind of switched off of Drew and Derrick White. But whomever is on Drew is a lot less worried about him than they are about Derrick White, and that left him pretty available to get a lot of stats in this last one. What were his dimes at? What did he finish with? I forgot already. He finished with 8. Yeah, 8 dimes, 7 boards. So I think, yeah, the dimes are still a good look for him. I know we all like the rebounds. He's an incredible rebounder for a guard, but yeah. And yes, you can get assists off the inbound, just whatever pass. In fact, you know what's crazy, bro? They are giving assists out for nothing these days. There was so many plays where I was like, that was a dime. I'm just going to show you one more. I'll probably get fucked. But look at this. How is that an assist? Let me show you that one more time. All right, Drew passes him the ball on the 3-point line. He takes 1, 2, and then okay, it's 2 dribbles. I guess if you just make a basketball move and go up, but that's crazy that that's an assist to me. But that's what we're getting nowadays is like these easy dimes that come our way because they're really nice when you have the home scorekeeper being the one that gets you keeps track of your stats. They're a little bit forgiving, so that makes sense. But yeah, I think if you play the assist for Drew, I think points and assists is another good look. The question was, is Drew going to get to 20 today? Well, let's put it in because we can still use our tool here to see if 20 is worth it. So what is the best number for Drew to get 20? If somebody in the chat has a number up already, then let me know. Look who it is. What's up? kings and queens. And oh my God, Mike makes me want to freaking, he makes me want to, he's making me take the, did you say under? Let me see this again. Check Miles Turner's last block. Oh, okay. He wants me to look at Miles Turner's block. All right, let's see. He's going to get me canceled. Obviously, this stream's going to all of a sudden get shut down, but I don't care. Let's take a look at Miles Turner's block. I know my guy was heated with Miles Turner's garbage ass block in the fourth quarter. Let's look at this one. That's a block. No, you got shafted, my boy. This was a block because Jaylen Brown brought the ball into his. So you want me to go under on the blocks? You got screwed. That's hilarious. I mean, I'm laughing with you. Sorry that you lost your bet. That sucks. But I also happen to know you're up like a gajillion units this season, so I'll hold my tears for you. But yeah, the Turner block was fishy as F for sure. That's hilarious. So you want to go under on Miles Turner's blocks? Let me try to stay in order a little bit because like y'all know about this ADD. So for Drew, I'm going to put him in the leans right now. I might just be taking his points and assists. I can't believe this. And I'm going to look at the 20 points real quick. All right, let me look at the 20 points for him real quick and see if I like that. And we'll talk about the points and assists. But Daft is running back the under Miles Turner 2 blocks. Once you come away getting screwed like that, I do not blame you at all, good sir. So I'm putting in, and by the way, if anybody came in here, let me know if you're talking about the Drew 20 points. It would be helpful if I don't want to have to look at all these books right now, but let's start with FanDuel and see what the 20 points for Drew Holiday is on here. Let's go to more wagers, player points, go down to this 20 point mark. Is it gonna be juicy? Plus 360. Plus 360 for Drew. The points, he's gotten 20 now. I mean, he's gotten it 3 of his last 4, right? He went for 17 there in game 5, and I bet he didn't play that much. Oh, no, I lied. He played 41 minutes, and he still didn't get there. Was he shooting? He only took 8 shots, made 4 of them. I mean, look at these shot attempts. Oh, this is potential assists. Come on, dog. Points. Played 41 and a half minutes, took 9 shots, made 5 of them. That's still good, but I don't think he made 1 3. So he's 1 for 4 from deep. He took 8 threes in this last game. I do expect him to be a little bit more open from 3, but I don't know that we want to bank on that. I mean, I'm still not going to be scared necessarily of like 13 and a half points for Drew, but the 20 is going to be a stretch for plus 360. So in the playoffs, he's averaging 12 in 38 minutes. You're not going to get an edge to the over here. I can already tell you that without doing it. I doubt you will. I'll put it in and we'll just take a look. So let's do Drew points over. Let's do 20 is the line. Let's make it 19.5. And the under odds we don't care about. The over odds are 360. I also want to see if there's a better price on a different book. Let me just look at DraftKings and I'll just do at least 2. But once again, if anybody has a price already on that. Okay, yeah, there you go. What's good? Thank you, Joe. Heavy contributor. What's good, Yoshua? Good to have you in here, fam. I do be snitching. Let's see real quick. Okay, so we got the 380 on DK. So we already know that because Joe is doing work out there. Contributions plus 380, 38.2 MPG prop. And that's the minutes. The average is 12. I'll even give us a little bit of a leeway here and say he just didn't care against Miami, and we'll take since. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, this is the first game against Cleveland as well, right? So let's do the average right here. This is 18, 36, 54, 67 plus 28, 95. All right, so 95 divided by what? 5? That's 19 a game. That was quick math. All right, so he's at 19 points per game in the last 5. I'll even that's going to tell us to take over, and he's only gone over once, and he's only hit this 20 plus once. It's not a bet. It's not a bet. I understand the desire to take it, but it's not a bet. Damn. I don't know if I can do that for you, Mike. I'll take a look at Miles real quick, but I don't know if I could do that I don't think I can talk you out of it. I think we all know you're the Miles Turner whisperer, bro, not me. But let's take a look at it real quick. Daft, what do you think about Miles Turner's threes? If you can chime in when you get a chance. Miles Turner, how many did he take last game? I'll put a bet in for Drew in a minute, I promise. But y'all know that if you interrupt me, I'm going to start just getting lost and going into other shit. The 3-point attempts for last game, does that talk you out of it, Mike? I mean, I know they were open, but since he left the Milwaukee series, he's basically averaged like 3. This is 8, 13, 16, 23, 26, 29, 33. That's in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games, right? What did I say? 33. So 33 divided by 8 he's at about 4.3 threes per game. So if you want him to hit 50% of them, it's minus 142. Did he really go 3 for 4 last game? Fam. He took 4 threes last game, and they got this thing at minus 140. Don't take it. I'm talking you out of it right now. Don't. Yeah. And that's what Daff was talking about before I just got into it. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't. I'm gonna be honest. I would not take that for Miles Turner. But what do I know? I've been wrong like 5 fucking times trying to bet on Miles Turner because I'm a dipshit. So what do I know? Yeah, we're gonna be in control today, Joshua G. We're gonna be in control. All right. We're not going to just make 30 fucking bets. That's how I ended up going on a cold streak, yo. Like, honestly, I lost like 8 units in about 4 days, 3 days, whatever it was. It was nasty because there was a couple bad days in there where I was just like slanging bets out because I liked them so much, but it's like everything can't hit, especially if you're taking all overs and all that stuff. But yeah, don't take the over 1.5 threes for minus 140, Mike. Maybe you like a 1-3 as a part of a parlay or something like that. But I know Mike doesn't do parlays either. So, yeah, there ain't no way we're going to get there with Drew 20 points. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if they're going to try to stop him more or not. He'll probably continue to be an outlet. But if Derrick White's hitting, then they're going to be looking for him, and he's going to be looking for his shot. I got to stay from the 20 for Drew. If you're talking about the PA for Drew Holiday, let me pull that up real quick. Where you at, Drew? Boo. Drew PA is 18.5. Man, I mean, the RA still is always like such a nicer play for Drew Holiday because he just does that all the time, right? And it was a good look last game. It was 9.5. It's gone up to 10.5, and you lose the juice. Minus 115. I'll put that as my lean for Drew Holiday, and we'll keep it moving here, which is damn. Yeah, I'm gonna put that in here on the bottom line as a lean. Take Drew, move him out from right here. Then we got to look at Derrick White, obviously, but or as I call them, Derrick Holiday and Drew White. Let's see, Drew. I'll put that lean in here for the RA as the over 10.5 rebounds and assists. That's where I lean with Drew, even though I did not put that bet in myself. And I really want to bet on Drew Holiday. I really do. And I understand anybody who bets on him in this one. Our boy's balling for sure. All right, let's keep it moving. Can I check Nembhard for 3 threes? Sheesh. Yeah, we can. I'll look at that when I look at Nembhard. Let me not forget. Derrick White. And I don't have Jalen in here either. My bad. Let me put JB in here. Jalen. And I also should put Tatum in here because we haven't looked at Tatum yet, right? And I think Tatum leading rebounder is something we should go back to. Let me just go there because it might continue to move around. Stat leaders on FanDuel. Yeah, he's now minus 140. Oh, this score, excuse me. Rebounds leader. All right, plus 115. I think you get plus money for Tatum. You still take it, bro. Honestly. What were the rebound chances last game? Let me go back to the box score. You can check rebound chances inside the box score by just going to player tracking. Player tracking. And you can look at RBC, which does not stand for Royal Bank of anything. It's rebound chances. It's a fucking weird joke. Pascal at 16, Miles at 17. I can't believe Miles had 17 rebound chances and pulled down like fucking 6 of them. Soft ass. What did he have on the boards? I pulled down 10. Good job, Miles. My bad. I'm talking too much shit. I'm still mad at you for making me look like a dipshit. Rebound chances for Tatum were at 15, but bro's been getting 15 and been pulling down 10 to 12 of them off of his 15. I'm pretty sure that's been the case for Tatum throughout the playoffs. I'm going to pull him up real quick. Where you at, J Tate? There he is. Rebounds. And people be liking the under assists for him, by the way. So be careful with just like RA or anything. Cause I agree that like he's going to keep looking for his. The Pacers will play that style of defense that basically he is the equivalent of Jalen Brunson, right? At this point, like Brunson's the primary scorer. Rather than look at center position, point guard position, power forward position, I could give a shit about any of that stuff anymore. Positions mean absolutely dick at this point in the NBA. It's really just where are you on the court and how are you playing? And yeah, at this point, yeah, it is a bank, right? Thank you. I thought it was a bank. It's a shitty Canadian bank, Royal Bank of Canada. All right, there we go. I know what I'm talking about. It's still a stupid joke, though. And so I think the unders for assists for primary scorers against the Pacers is something that can continue to hold, whereas the points should continue to be there. So yeah, and this is a good question because I know not all of y'all will have access to that. So like it does make sense if you can't take the rebound leader. The franchise wants to know, would you take 10.5 or take the juice for 10 plus? And I would take 10.5. I don't give a shit. Yeah, I'm not really scared of that, to be honest with you. What's the best number here on Props Madness for Tatum rebounds? Looking at the rebounds, over 10.5 is plus 110. Yeah, I would go for that before I went for the for anything else, to be honest with you. So in terms of going down to 10 for like way worse juice, I think you're okay with the 10.5 franchise. So if you want to take that one, you're good with that. Let's see real quick. I was looking at Tatum rebound chances throughout these playoffs, though. So I'm on Tatum right now. I'm looking at rebounds. He got 12 last game on the 15 potential rebounds, for lack of a better way to say it. Yeah, I mean, I still like him, honestly. Like Siakam, the thing is, like I was saying, Siakam got a lot of uncontested rebounds because he was guarding, and I'm gonna make sure I'm not lying to you again. I'm gonna go to matchups, but he was guarding Jaylen Brown. And Jaylen Brown, all right, you know what? We're doing it. We're doing this. We're going in to look at his highlights again. But I'll just show you real quick. For defense, I'm putting Siakam on defense. And I see that he basically guarded JB the whole time, right? And he really didn't guard Tatum at all because they do want him closer to the basket to get those boards. So that is going to be a big reason, like that you see Pascal on someone that's going to be a little bit closer to the basket rather than playing Jason Tatum, and even Drew Holiday, who's a little bit less scary of a player than Tatum is. But if I go to Pascal's rebounds real quick, I'm going to do this real. So this rebound right here. This is him getting his own board, right? He gets it again, whatever. All right. Other one, I'm trying to see these. This is a defensive rebound. So defensive rebound, this is in transition. He's guarding Drew on this play because they're in transition. And then he's able to sort of play off of Drew Holiday because they're not as worried about his threes. And now he's open for this. So that's going to be what you see a lot for Siakam. Now he's guarding basically the baseline. I guess he's on Tatum right here, obviously, but he's off of his dude, and he's going for those boards, and they give him that tap right there to Haliburton as a rebound. That's hilarious. Hopefully no one's in for the NBA and in the chat. Let's see. So for him, I still like the rebounds for Tatum. I still think 10.5 is a good look for over. What's he done against this team in the regular season with the boards? Yeah, I mean, look at that. So on the 30th, I think that was a blowout, right? Or no, that was still a close game, but he just didn't get the rebounds in that one. But looking at that game, how many rebound chances did he have? He only had 10 in that game. I believe Kristaps was in that game for them. Obviously, without Kristaps, he's been a really, really good rebounder in the playoffs. Looking at the stuff in general, in the playoffs, he's been at 10.5. That includes a few games with Kristaps. So if you take Kristaps out, he's at 10.9. I still think he's good for the 11 in this game. So if you want to take that, that's how I lean. I'm going to put him in there because I can still get plus money for the rebound leader on FanDuel for plus 110. I'm going to put that in there. And absolutely, bro. Thank the Lord for the tracking era. It is wonderful. Absolutely. All right. So for Tatum rebound leader, damn, I mean, that 460 is staring me in the fucking face with my logic on Pascal, is it not? That seems a little bit more worth it than even the plus 110. Honestly, the way he boarded up last game. And he's guarding Brown. Nah, I'm gonna still go for it. I'm gonna still take Tatum plus 110. Yeah, appreciate you, John, for sure. What's up, Bull Rise? Good to have you in here, brother. All right, I'm putting Tatum up here for half a unit as the leading rebounder. Tatum leading rebounds plus 110 FD. That went down a little bit. I believe it was plus 130. We'll put half a unit on it in this one. By the way, if you are playing this bet on FanDuel, you should know about the rule that is dead heat, right? So if you're taking a bet of any kind on FanDuel, and I believe it's the same for DraftKings, you should know these rules. It sucks, but you have to go into the rules and read them. I know that's boring as shit, and we've already established we don't like work in this freaking chat, and I get it. But if you want to do the work to understand the rules by which you're playing, you got to know that. And that what I mean by dead heat is if they tie like they did last game, you split the bet. So you get half the profit back, right? And your stake. So you're still safe there if he ties with Pascal. You're just going to get this at basically like minus whatever 150 or something like that, right? Minus 140. So you will get your winnings, but you won't win nearly as much. So it's not like the tie goes to the books, which is nice. And that's called the dead heat rule for FanDuel and for DraftKings as well. So keep that in mind. I got that in there for plus 110. If you want to take the over 10.5, that's a better play to me than just 10. I think once you get to plus 108 for him to get 11, you're still going to get a good number there. But I'll put it in here real quick. We'll use his playoff numbers even with KP. We'll do him with KP because he got 11 twice with KP out there, or at least once. So we'll take, I'll put that in here real quick for y'all if you want to just take a quick look at it, which is Tatum rebounds, right? And this is Rebs, the line. We'll put 10.5. The under odds are minus 140, and the over-odds are up to 114. That's sexy. Minus 140, plus 114. Minutes average for our guy in the postseason here, 39.8 minutes per game. The prop average we said was 10.5 with Kristaps out there too. It's fine. I'm fine with that. They're projecting him for 40, I'm sure, in this game, right? Where's RotoWire at with that? RotoWire is projecting him for 42 minutes. That adds up. So let's put him to 42, especially if you think it's going to be close. And for all y'all that are calling for the Celtics to just whoop that ass again in this game, just chill a little bit. The book probability to the over, let's do the under here, is minus 140, which is going to be hella high. So minus 140. That's a 58% implied probability that that happens. That's what I already have in there. And then at plus 114, it's going to be a lot lower. 114 gets me to 47% because I got to round up. So 47% on the over might just be enough. Yeah, it's 14.5%. So it's still an edge of over 10%. So to back at you to one franchise, because I know you brought that up specifically, I do like that 14.4%. I think you still, like I said, just from my eye test, it was still good with that. So take that for data. Let me look at this little parlay with Tatum. Daft took some alt lines on Tatum is nice, 27 plus points and 9 plus boards at even money. That's sexy. Wow. And that's probably like some weird ass book, right? Like the kangaroo Aussie book or something like that. The G'day book or whatever it's called out there. I love you guys in Australia. I'm sorry for talking shit. But yeah, that's probably gonna be a little bit different. But either way, let me see if I can get that real quick. Let me put it up here. So you took 27 points. I don't think they're gonna give me 27. They probably won't give me that anywhere out here. How'd you get 27 points? That's crazy. Oh, sports bet. It's a FanDuel equivalent. All right. Sports bet. That makes sense. All right. Well, if you can get that, go for it. I love that. I think what we would have to take is the 30 plus, which he's done pretty consistently. He's a primary scorer against the Pacers. So yeah, I mean, that's the playoffs. Earlier this year, he's gotten 30 in every game against them in every game that he's played. So if you wanted to bump that to 30 on like FanDuel and take, I think you'd probably have to get, let's see real quick. I'm going to do this for Tatum. Player points. He's at his core is 29.5. So he's already at 30 plus, right? So we take that and we add it to the boards where maybe we take it at 8, but it's probably hella bad money. Minus 40. So let's take the 10 plus. Minus 155. That gets us to plus 170. So we're being riskier than Daft is with his sports bet look. But that still makes sense. No, my bad. You know what? Let me get to that since you're at work and you brought it up. And you're my fucking guy, Free Sauce. We'll take a look at Nembhard real quick, but I think some Tatum parlays in there. Like he's going to keep doing work for sure. I don't mind that 30 plus and the 10 plus boards for him. That's kind of sexy. Let's look at Nembhard real quick because he is a popular player right now amongst y'all. So let's pull up Andrew Nembhard. Hopefully he's not Nem soft. Pause. Let's see. We'll start with the what we say, the assists, right? Why has he been diming up so much? Does anybody know why? Hit me in the comments if you're someone talking about the assist for Nembhard. Let's take a look at it. Real quick, are you saying that you can do the alt lines, Joshua, with the exact bet that Daft made? Because that would be the Marsupio Sportsbook. That would be interesting to me as well. I'm going to run through the Nembhard assist real quick because that was a look brought up in the Discord hella too. The Legacy was in there. Who just changed his name, by the way. Oh, okay. So you go over 26.5 and over 8.5 for Tatum on FanDuel, which is minus 112, which is a little bit worse than the book that Daft has out there down under, but still makes sense. So thanks for bringing that up, bro. That's good knowledge for the chat. All right, Nemby. This is versus Boston. Let's look at the playoffs, though. So his last 2 versus Boston were good. I don't care quite as much. But yeah, he's been right at 4 in every one of his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 games in the playoffs. So 12 out of 14 games, he's gotten 4 plus. Keep that in mind that the bet might be 4 plus alongside something else for Nemby. But let's look at his potentials real quick. 8.6. I think that's a fair average. So you're asking him to get 5 on 8.6 or 9-ish potential assists, right, for him? So okay, let's make sure he gets 30 minutes. And what did he get in this last game real quick? Okay, he's been getting those minutes. And it looks like, yeah, they're going to keep him in there, especially because, like I said, if you look at the minutes for these dudes in this last game for Indiana, it looks like they're finally limiting it to just 3 dudes off the bench, not really 4 quite as much. And you're just going to see basically still get around 40 minutes for all the starters. And Nembhard is the only one getting 35 because they want to get TJ McConnell in there. So that's something to be a little bit. Let me look at the fourth quarter. Sometimes I like to see if they played the fourth. Okay, it was actually Haliburton that came out in the fourth for whatever reason, more so than Nembhard, who's played the most of the fourth. So that makes you feel good about the minutes too. So let's do that. Let's filter this per Free Sauce's suggestion. Filter this to 30 minutes at least. So I'm making sure that any game I take into account here is at least 30 minutes played for him. And now we're at a little bit of better hit rate here, 6 of 9. Pretty similar to the other one. But yeah, when he gets that, you take out some of those 4s and you get the 5, which is nice. Plus 122. Let's do it this way. Let's just be smart about this. So he's averaging 5. And let's put it in here. Let's do Nemby, because I like calling him Nemby. Nemby assists 4.5. Odds for the under, going to my trusty Props Madness, which gives me the best, most up-to-date look. Nembhard assists 4.5 or plus 124 on FD. Minus 152 is the under. All right, so minus 152, and then over is 124. That's wild. 124. The minutes average. So we got to keep in mind, like, we can't just guarantee him, more than that. What's he at right here? 32. And he's been at, there's a couple games against the Knicks where he came out, but that's because he was getting cooked. Even in this series versus the Bucks, he's probably at about 34. What's his projections tonight on RotoWire for minutes for Nembhard? He's projected at 32 tonight. All right, let's give him 32. That makes sense. He's averaging in the playoffs 32. All right, yeah, okay, I'm good with that. So he's averaging 32.2. At 32.2 minutes. And the prop average is exactly 5 for the dimes, right? If we put him at 32 to 9, this is going to for sure tell us to take it. There's no question. The book probability under at minus 140 is 58%. I should probably just remember that. Come on, fam. And then the probability at plus 124 is going to be 45%, right? All right, so we'll put in 45% here. It looks like a nice edge to the over. I think that's worth it. It's right on the cusp, but they're giving us plus 124. I think you got to take that. Appreciate you bringing that look and continuing to bring it, because I didn't look at it before then. Is that a good thing, Daft, that his dimes went to what's his name? Let me remove this. God damn it. Let me know what you think about that, because that'd be interesting to me. Hold on, let me pull this up. In live video. This is so annoying. God damn you, Instagram. All right. Keep it moving here, though. X out of this. Yeah, it depends how you feel about Turner. That's a really good point. If he's going to be wide open, I'm fine with still taking Turner overs, but I don't know if he's going to be wide open or not. I'm going to take the Nemby assist here. I wonder how do we feel about the PA? Is there any benefit to that? I'm sure you looked at that too, Free Sauce, but the PA is a little bit safer, no? You can get over 14.5 for minus 102. And you kind of cover yourself a little bit because he's only at 9.5 points, which he's hella gone over in the playoffs. Damn. So this might be the look a little bit more than just the assist, although you get that amazing juice with just the dimes. You want to look at the splits away as well. All right, let's look at that. Yeah, nice on the dime. The dimes are still nice. And I know you had the 30-minute filter on here as well, I'm sure, because you can see his 3 unders were when he did not get the 30 minutes on the road. So you give him 30 minutes, he's over in like 4 or 5 in the playoffs. And that makes sense to me. I still think the play might be points and assists. He's averaging 18 and he's at 14.5. And he's projected to get the same amount of minutes. So you can go either way. Let's split the unit. I'm going to split the unit here. So I'm putting similar to what we did with Obi Toppin Obi. We're taking Nemby. Hopefully, y'all know who I mean by Nemby. I'm putting 0.3 units on the assists. So over 4.5 dimes is going to be plus 124 on F Dizzle. We're going to take that for 0.3 And then I'm going to split that unit with the PA, which I feel safer with, and go over 14.5 PA for minus 102 on FD as well. 0.7 units on that. So I split it up a little bit less even, but that plus 124 is a nice bet right there for plus 124. I totally dig that. I'm adding the points to it as well. Maybe it's because I'm a coward, but that's how I feel about that. Yeah, and Daft has Drew in there for 4+ assists, which seems like a really safe bet. I was really looking at like Drew 12, 4, and 4 or something like that. So what is that right now for Drew on FanDuel? Let's see. Can I get the 12.5? What's his? So he's at 13.5 points, right, for Drew Holiday. 13.5 right there. Can I get? Oh, okay. I can just take alt points. That's what's up. All right. So let's look at Drew real quick. Alt points. Yeah, this is what Joshua was talking about too. Yehoshua Gold was mentioning this. So if you take him, I don't even know why you would dumb it down. You might as well take the 14. But like, let's say we take him for 12. Like I said, this is remove Tatum. Take him for 12. Add the boards at 4. Let's go down to alt rebound, or I can just do it right here. 12 rebounds is 8 rebounds. 4 rebounds for Drew is going to be minus 440. It's not going to be that sexy. And then the dimes is probably not going to bring us to that much. But let's see. 4 assists for Drew is still minus 310. That's horrible. But either way, you get a little plus 114 if you want 12, 4, and 4. They're really jipping us here on this that one. So I think that's another good look for Drew if you want to play that, because I think he's going to do a little bit of everything and maybe a lot of one thing, but I just don't know which one it's going to be. I would lean towards the assists and the points if you're just taking those two together. So that's how we're looking at Drew here. I'll put that in the leans as well for Drew Boo if you want to take him on the little yeah, I got the over 10 RA in here, or you could do 12 points /4. Let's just do 12, 4, and 4. So hopefully, that's what I mean by that split down there. 12, 4, and 4, which gives you plus 114 on FD. And shop it around if you want to take something like that. But that's where I'm at with Holiday. I like all that stuff. We spent a lot of time on Drew because I'm actually not mad about it, to be honest. But yeah, the PA looks safe as fuck for sure, is where we're at with that. Ooh, this is a good call by Yehoshua. Make sure to always check the 4+ versus the alternate line of 3.5, because sometimes it's not always the same number. Let's see if that's the case here. So what he's saying here is like, you can either take a milestone bet, as they call it, and be like, okay, 4+ assists for Drew Holiday. That's minus 310. But what about if we go down to Drew specifically and we do Drew alternate assists? Why is that not on here? Are you serious? They're not giving us Drew alternate assists? Yehoshua, what's going on here? Why are they jipping me, dude? Is it because I took this so they won't show it to me? Bro, someone put a call into FanDuel. Fucking cowards. Cowards. Holy shit. We got to get out of the hood parlay. Holiday for 3+ points, 3 boards, and 3 dimes in the first quarter is 35-1 on your money on 365. Plus, Daft brings up a good point about 365. It is usually better when you do these like multiple parlays, multiple leg parlays on one like this. It's really good on 365 consistently. I've noticed that as well. All right, that's where I'm at with Drew. We spent plenty of time on him. I think there's a lot of ways to play him, but that we're all about Drew Holiday in this one. All right, we got Derrick White. Let me pull up D White. Ooh, yeah, that's nice, because I just had that up for a minute. I think even 12 points, Gerard Dewey. I think that's even a good look for it's plus money. Wow. Oh, and we got 65-1 if you want 3-3-3 for Drew. 6 points or 3 points, 3 boards, 3 assists in the first quarter is actually 65-1. Our guy was doing hood math earlier, but Daft likes it at 65-1. That's sexy. I know he put a little sprinkle on that. He's got to get out the hood and be able to quit his day job so he can just do this all day and join these fucking streams and stop selling stuff. But instead sell picks, baby. That's where we're coming at next. All right, looking at D White. What do we do with Derrick right now, man? Where are you at, Derrick? What's your deal, bro? What is your deal? Why you can't just do this all the time? Why you got to be so helter skelter? So if we look at the points and assists, I'm getting away from there. Points 17.5 to start. Is there a specific bet that people are looking at for that? Let me see. Let's see real quick. Because people were talking about the Derrick White stuff. I think there were some threes looking there, right? I'm just trying to get you guys to point me in the direction. If you brought up Derrick White, let me know. I'm gonna try to figure that out. Appreciate you, bro. I think it's my friggin' ADD and just y'all don't want to know what's going on up here. It's fucking hamster wheel. D White though, points at 17.5, boards at 4.5, dimes at 4.5, and the dimes were the original call. Now that I'm remembering. Have I ever been to the hood? I don't want to talk about those days, but yeah, I have. Weed didn't used to be legal. You had to go into some sketchy places to get weed back in the day, bro. So like, that's kind of where I resided. All right, so 4.5 or 5.5 for plus money. The look for the dimes. So the reason I like the dime, I was considering the dimes last game and didn't go with it for D White is because well, the reason I was looking at it, not the reason I didn't go for it, but the reason I was looking at it was because of the thought process that they were going to do what they did, which was run him off the line. Let's do what we do until somebody will ask for forgiveness rather than seek permission. But I'm in the fourth quarter. Let me pull up Derrick White assists. I want to look at his assists. If you're just jumping in, you can, and then I'll look at a couple other stuff too. I'll look at his assists. And if you're just jumping in, you can get into these box scores, right? This is a really solid play by the NBA on their website. They just keep getting better every year, bro. God bless the tracking data. God bless all this. But the assists for Derrick White, so he had 9 of them, right? Over that. I think he might have had fewer potentials than Drew in this last game. He had 12, and I believe Drew had like 16 of them bitches. Where you at, Drew? Drew on the dimes had 13. All right, so you had one more than Derrick White last game. But for D White, what I'm looking at when I bring up this video, because I'm looking at how did he get these dimes? I want to see a little bit more about how he was getting them. I told you Drew Holiday got a bunch of them because he was the inbounder on the out of bounds play. Nah, dude, I have not been to an Australian hood. Damn, yeah, nah, that sounds terrifying. All right, yeah, I'll take a look at it in a minute, Lester. Give me 1 sec. We'll come back to Drew. But D White, positive regression coming from Free Sauce on that. Let's see real quick. Yeah, he's averaging 11 threes. All right, let me keep it going here real quick. I think you mean Crikey, right? Not Cricky. It's Crikey. All right, so the assist for Drew to Papa Al Horford, which helped us in the last game. As Papa Al fucking did us wrong. Yeah, all right, bro. Miles I was watching this so fucking mad. Miles Turner, watch this dumbass. What are you doing? Okay. I'm hedging. Great hedge, bro. But like, he's not even in position to shoot. You can go back now and like somebody else can step up. This is terrible fucking defense. I'm just going to let Al Horford stand. What is Miles Turner doing? What are you doing, Miles? What are you doing? God, that pissed me off. All right, that's an easy one, but that is also part of, I mean, it does help me prove my point though, which is they're not going to let Derrick White shoot. So that is going to lead to more assists, right? Because right here, Derrick White gets an assist strictly off the fact that Miles Turner's like, I'm going to leave Al Horford wide the hell open because if I leave you and you make a 3, I'm about to get yelled at, right? So that is a reason why you would keep taking for Derrick White for the dimes because they're not going to give him any shots. Let's see if there's another one that kind of illustrates what I'm talking about here. This is him getting, oh no, he's the inbounder right there. Damn, that kind of fucks my theory about Drew because Drew got 3 dimes off the inbounding. So it's either he or Derrick White. They're both good for assists, honestly. Maybe a little 4 and 4 or something like that for both of them isn't a bad play. But look, once again, all right, he got the dime there. That was just a normal pick and roll with a really good offensive player like Jason Tatum. But all right, you get my point here. They were hunting all that stuff. So I'm going to take a look at one more. Oh, then he gets Drew in the post. But I think both of them might be good for 4 each, to be honest with you, if you like that. So what is that, by the way, real quick? If I take them both for 4 on FanDuel real quick, 4+ for Drew, that's not going to give me shit. Yeah, -137. That's a little simple one. I mean, 5 for both of them isn't bad because I continue to like the under for assists for guys like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, to be honest with you. That's not where they're going to be getting their points from. So, yeah, I think both of them are pretty good. I'll put that in the leans right now. I've got a decent amount of bets going here. So the leans are things that like, if I didn't already have my plays in, I might just hit it, but I'm going to be conservative enough here. So let me give you the Derrick White over. Well, the over 4.5 ain't going to cut it anymore, right? Because that got juiced all the way down. Let me pull up D White over here real quick. Where you at, Derrick? Derrick on the dimes, diming up Derrick, minus 138. In the playoffs, what's he at? He's averaging 4.3 in the playoffs. He's come up a little bit because he was hitting all these shots against Miami and even against Cleveland. So he got the dimes up a bit. This will be a different defense, so it's not going to be the same. So don't worry about that. But it's still a number that at that amount of juice is not good enough for me. I don't see the edge for it. So I'm going to pass on Derrick White. But if you're going to go over 4.5 assists, that would be my lean for him. And I want to take a look at the threes too, real quick for our guy. So how many threes did he take in this game? And what's the number at now? Wow. 1.5 threes for this man. What? Oh, this is Drew. Whew. Okay, this is Drew. My bad. Derrick White. Where you at, Derrick? 2.5. Also minus 188. Or you got to take him to get 4 for hella plus money. This is just one of those things where I'm out. And FanDuel is the only one holding the 2.5 now. Let me make sure that's correct as well. We got about 15 minutes. So let me know if you do have anything else in those comments, and we'll make sure to get something else up. I know it sucks, bro. Y'all watch me in real time just like lose my fucking happiness and my eagerness for this shit. What was I just looking at? The assists for Derrick White. Oh no, the threes. I'm sorry. So for 3.5 threes here, which he's done in. Okay, yeah, let me put the 3.5. He's done in 5 of 11. He's averaging 3.5 on the in the playoffs, so it's not terrible. I don't know if there's much of a split between home and he's better at home, that's for sure. 3.7 at home versus 3.5 on the road. Over a few more times on the 3.5. And the actual let's put it in there. So taking out the home, 5 for 11 games, 3.6. What about head to head though? Yeah, this team takes away the 3 a lot, right? So it's a little bit scarier, but he's not the primary scorer. So there's something to it. Let's do playoffs numbers and put it in the little transmogrifier right quick. So we've got him at there's no 5 and this is assists, excuse me. All right, 3 threes right here for D White. 2.5 is actually minus 166. So that is incorrect on the other platform. 2.5 at minus 166 might even be just worth it, honestly, on its own. If you want to take 3.5 or plus 135, let's see which one's better real quick. All right, I'm putting in 2.5 threes. This is D White threes, 2.5. Under odds are plus 130 and minus 166. So under odds are 130. This is minus 166. His minutes average in the playoffs is 34.4. 34.4. Prop average. What am I at here? His prop average is 3.6. Let me focus for a minute. 3.6 made, and then the projected minutes tonight are probably back at about 32. For him, I'm going back to RotoWire just to use that. I think it's safe to come on now. I think it's safe to put him at 32 to 35 if I could do this fucking correctly. Projected minutes for D White 36. That seems fair. I don't get out of here with this 34 for Al. Get out of here. All right, 36 for D White. What did he play in this last game? 42. Well, that was with overtime, so 36 makes sense. All right, 36 minutes is what we're giving him tonight. And now we got to put in our probabilities. So the book implied under at plus 130, right? Plus 130 there. What does that give us? Probably about 44%. 130 is 43%. All right, 43% to the under. And the over is minus 166. So that gives us minus 166 is a 62% chance of happening. This is for sure going to be an edge to the over. So 21% is the edge to the over if you want to take 2.5. I still think that's a good play for Derrick White. 2.5 threes. We call it a bankroll builder. You know, some of the homies that are betting a ton, they basically, you know, get the they're going to bet $1,000 on that and make back whatever that is at minus 166, which is still going to be a good amount of money. But if we put him at the whatever. If we put him at the 3.5, what's that math? What's that hood math? The 3.5 is plus 135 and minus 175. So now we get minus 175 to the under, 135 to the over. Minutes averages stay the same. And then the book probability under is now minus 175. 175 is 64% implied probability to the under. The implied probability to the over. Oh, wait, no, I'm lying. Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm doing this right. And then the plus 135. What were we at with that? What did we say that was? Like 40 something percent. That is 43%. So that's not bad, man. 43%. Still tells you to take the over. So you're good either way. This is another thing where sometimes I do the half and half, right? Like I'll split the unit into half. Call me out of my ADD. The half a unit will be good on the over 2.5, and it's good on over the 3.5, and you kind of split it and look at it that way. Let's see real quick. We got a bum ass lay from How About a Cup of Joe. Obi and Andrew Nembhard 10 plus, and Tyrese and Turner at 15 plus. Huh. Bum ass lay for the folk. I like that. Okay, I could dig it. All right. I will. Now we're making Daff bet $1,000 tonight. So let's all do this. If a couple people go up and sign up for Chalkboard and Dabble, which will make our guy some money, he's gonna dump it right back into a bet and show us the ticket for $1,000. That is not verbally binding. I won't hold you to that, Daff. But yeah, why not support our boy? If you want to sign up, Chalkboard's pretty cool. Dabble Fantasy I haven't seen yet. But use code DAFT wherever you go, and you'll get some cool stuff. I got no problem plugging your stuff, brother. Let's see here. Who's balling? Who's BAL? All right, keeping it moving. Looking at all right, we got D White. That's how I'm putting him in the bottom here. If you want to take, I think the over assist is all right. But I actually like the threes better. I'm not even gonna put the assists in here as far as my leans go. 2.5, 3 p.m. or 3.5 are both viable bets according to the math. So if you want to take either of those, it's not a bad look at all. All right, we got a little bit more time here. So let's bum ass lay. Thank you. That is a good bum ass lay though. That makes sense. It's not a bitch ass lay, right? It's a bum ass lay. That makes sense. I mess with it. Yeah, I like that look from Joe real quick. So I'm put it back up real quick in case anybody's interested. Joe, let us know what book you use to get that too, so we can just keep it. Or I think you said that somewhere, right? But yeah, let us know which book you're looking at too. All right, moving it along. Who was the next guy I just said? That's why I need a producer, fam, or just Daft to come in here and fucking ramble for a bit so I can like get my bearings, you know. All right, let's look at Pascal for a minute. I didn't look at him yet, and then I got Nembhard in here, so I don't need to have him on there. Well, look, I'm done with Miles. I'll be honest with you. Don't ask me. What's the opposite of the Miles whisperer? I'm the fucking Miles dipshit, honestly, more than anything. So don't listen to me there. Pascal, I'm gonna have to take all these swears out at some point. FD for the bum ass lay right there. If you want it from Joe, which was like 4 dudes to get like a lot less points than their actual lines are, which I don't hate, to be honest. So I'm looking at. Oh, and I didn't look at TJ, but you already know my bet for TJ. And also, if you can put TJ under half a 3 in any of your bum ass lays or a parlay of any kind, I love TJ McConnell under a half a 3 all day, every day, and twice on Sundays when I can bet it. Because my man does not even attempt a 3. He doesn't attempt a 3, right? Like 3 games, he's taken a motherfucking 3, right? Am I wrong about that? No, I'm wrong. My bad. He has taken more than that. He's taken 1. Oh, I didn't even realize he took 1 last game. Not going to make it. Terrible 3-point shooter. Happy to take the juice there. Minus 280, we're getting out of range. Never mind. We're getting out of range. This was minus 220 last game, so we're getting out of the range. All right. Next up, Pascal. Let's look at the man. Where you at, Pascal? Going back to props.cash. All right. Don't like 3s, by the way, in case anybody was wondering. Minus 172. Hell no, I don't like that. Points, I mean, he did work for sure. Let me go back into the box score here and just be able to look at this nice and easy with Pascal. All right, Pascal, 23 shots, far and away the most, right? And he is going to be somebody that they keep going to. I continue to like the rebounds for Pascal. What are those at? They're at 8.5. Yeah. I still like that. I'll be honest with you. I know he has not been doing that much in this playoffs, but like I said, the way the matchups are working out for dude, and this is the first time he played with the Pacers, right? I mean, he might have been there for this one as well, where he played 32 minutes in that game. But if he's projected to get 42, I still like the boards for our guy. You can get 7.5 for minus 140 on DraftKings, or you can take the plus 106. Let me make sure that's all correct as well for Pascal on the boards. Maybe the PR is a look as well. Yeah, I mean, 7.5 or -135. It's not terrible for real. Either way that you cut it, he had the most or second most rebound chances in the game last game. So that's kind of where my look is for Pascal if you want it. Um, yeah, I know it's such a good point. There's gonna be too much cussing if we're on every day, bro. But yeah, when you're out here in 9 months, bro, we're doing this every day. I know. It's just a matter of, is YouTube gonna like make me censor my video and not like make any money off of it because I'd just be dropping F bombs all game. Um, but yeah, I don't think anybody's gonna be worried about it. Yeah, I'm with that, Steph. I hit that. That's on the bottom line already. I like Luke Cornett. So all the bets that I already hit are on the bottom, scrolling along. That one's there actually right now, over 7.5. I still like that. You might be able to get better odds than I got too, honestly. Ooh, interesting, Will. Interesting. Game leader for 10-1 from Pascal. I don't hate it. Hold on, I'll go back real quick. He took 23 shots. Tatum took 26, right? A lot of those from three, and Tatum can't hit a motherfucking three to save his life in this playoffs. It's crazy. If I was taking a Tatum prop, like I would max it at 2, to be honest with you, just so y'all know. The these Siakam boards are still talking to me, I'll be honest. So I'll put that in there as a lean. I do got a dip here in a minute. So I just want to take one more look at Jaylen Brown. I'm going to put Pascal rebounds on the leans, and then everything. If you didn't hear me say it earlier, everything that I am betting on actually is going to be a comment in the video on YouTube. My brain is starting to malfunction. I like the over. I just like the over rebounds. I'll just say over on the rebounds, because any way you cut it, you can take the juice down over 7.5, or you can take the juiced up over 8.5. And just so y'all know what I mean with 8.5, when I say juice, it's basically the odds, right? So if it's good juice, then you're getting plus money. If it's bad juice, you're getting minus some money, right? All right, cool. Let's see here. I know that a lot of y'all get back to work too. Yeah, we're gonna get free sauce on the stream too. Don't even worry. And shout out the 9 to 5 homies. Some of us just work differently. But yeah, slow money better than no money. That's for sure. Make that money, bro. Okay. The last dude I was looking at was Jaylen Brown, right? Don't hate Ben Shepherd, by the way. Also, just got to throw it out there. If he is still going to get a few minutes, like 3.5 points, 4 shots, I still don't hate it. He can make 2 of 4 easy, and I got to put him at 4 shots. So Ben Shepherd points, I don't mind if you wanted to take that. Jaylen Brown, I know some people were starting to fade our guy, even though we were all hype on him in the last game because of the fact that he likes to bully people to the rim, and this team does not defend the rim at all, well or at all, like at all. So I would be scared. I mean, 10 for 20. How many threes did he take last game? For JB, he took 4 of them. So how did he go 10 for 20? He should have been making way more shots than that. Honestly, that's a bad percentage for somebody that only took 4 threes of his 20 shots. That means he went 9 for 16 actually isn't bad. 9 for 16 from the field to get him 26 points. Now he's at 25.5. You're getting a little rich for my blood. I know head to head, he loves to kill this team, but I got enough bets in. I'll be honest with y'all. So I'm going to dip out, but yeah, a job's a job, bro. You're 100% right. Like, get your money for sure. All right, cool. I'm gonna dip out. I'm gonna put, like I said, I'm gonna get this into the comments on the video. I'm gonna be back in Discord here in a minute after I eat some freaking food for like the first time today. And I'm gonna have that video out tonight for tomorrow's game as well with the Timberwolves. I already gave this out, so if you're still on the stream, I didn't put it anywhere. I'm about to put it in Discord. But PJ Washington, 5+ rebounds, 2+ 3-pointers made is -110 on FanDuel. Really like that for -110. That's a good look right there. But yeah, jump in that Discord. Definitely subscribe, or at the very least, like the video if you would while you're in here. It goes a super long way to help. Honestly, man, like it's everything for the algorithm and all that stuff. If y'all do have any questions, jump in that Discord. Link in the description of the video. We'll get it. I'll be back tomorrow's stream, 5:30 p.m. Eastern, like we do every day. So jump in there. We'll see if we can get a guest on or not. But I'm having a good time. Daft is probably the one of the better guests too, because he kind of indulges going through some of the stuff you guys look at. But I like to make sure I got time to go through what y'all want to run through rather than just give you plays, right? But that's all I got, man. I'm gonna dip out. I will talk to you on the Discord until I see you next. Happy betting.